Scream 6 is out, but was it worth watching? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? I've missed you guys. It's been a while since I've been in front of you all, but last night I saw Scream 6. Now, it's time to talk about it. You guys know, if you followed me for a while, that I was late on the bandwagon for Scream. I thought it was more comical in the beginning than now. 4 and 5, I really like. A lot of people think that 4 and 5 are not as good, or especially 5. Pretty divisive. But me, I felt Scream has been on an upward trend for the past few years. So when I saw the trailer for Scream 6 and I saw the New York City setting, like the big city feel, I was excited because you can do a lot with that villain. The thing I love about Ghostface is because of the character and the fact that so many different people are portraying this character, he's not tethered to any one type of setting. He can be in a smaller town, he can be in a big city, and I think I was thinking leading into this, that big city might give another layer to that slasher character, so the slasher villain. So let's get into it. So this review is going to be really basic because I'm making this review on Friday, which is technically the first day it came out. I saw it last night, so I do not want to spoil anything for anybody. I am simply making this video so that you can decide whether or not you want to see it. It follows the same cast, the core. I'm not gonna say the name, but the core group of people. You know what I mean when you see the movie. The core group of people from Scream 5. Now, me being a new fan of Scream, I had extremely high hopes going into it. Overall, I was disappointed. It just left me, I was just really mad about it. And I said something on my Instagram about that last night, and I still haven't changed. Now, Ghostface is a great villain, and this is one of his better outings in this movie. Very violent, very imposing, very intimidating, and I was thinking throughout in certain parts that this villain now can stand alongside some of the well-known slashers. I've always put Ghostface on the bottom tier for me, because if you were to put Ghostface against another slasher villain, essentially, I mean, Ghostface would get torn up. But there's certain times in this movie I thought, okay, maybe he's a little bit more formidable than I've given him credit for in the past. So from that perspective, from Ghostface's portrayal, very, very good. And it still continues the upward trend of a more and more vicious Ghostface. So on that note, great. There's certain parts of this movie where you had to suspend way too much belief. Like, I get it, it's a slasher, I get it, it's a horror, I get it that those movies have always had to suspend belief, but Scream presents itself as like a play, but an improved play on the original slasher tropes. They make light of them and they'll mention them in their rules and such like that, but it's supposed to portray itself as an improved slasher. It isn't. It does the same stuff of slashers of old. And the worst parts of it, meaning where a character might be stabbed multiple times and then be alive. Stuff like that makes no sense. Like, it doesn't make logical sense. And for a movie that is trying to hang its hat on making sense out of a fictional, movie trope, it kind of lost me. And then towards the end, the final act, the twist was like, to me, it twisted itself into confusion. And you had to, again, dispel so much belief in order to fully grasp what's going on. The acting was great. The lead is amazing. Samantha, I really like her character, and I like where her character may be going. And when you see the movie, you know what I mean by that. But the whole storyline was people have been accusing her being the one that orchestrated the entire all the killings in Scream 5, and that she really was the one behind everything. So town had turned against her, people had turned against her, and were painting her as this villain. And of course, she is the daughter of Billy Loomis, so there's that is kind of pulling her, and that's kind of factored into everything. So I like her character, I like her sister, I like I forget her name, but the one who's selling all the horror rules. I really like her a lot. She might be my favorite character in this entire movie. But it was just a mess to me. It didn't feel like it had much life. There were certain times in kill scenes where it would happen, and there was just no feeling to it. It's hard to explain and convey in words what I'm really trying to say. And I hope once you see it, if you see it, you'll understand what I'm saying. But it just felt flat. I guess that's what it is. And the kill scenes, although they were a little bit more bloody, there was nothing new. And granted, we're 6 movies into this franchise, so there's not a lot new you can come up with. But since they explicitly mention the rules of prequels and requels, whatever they called them, all these sequels, all these different things, and they mention the rules and how to do it to make it bigger and more grand and everything. It feels like they would come up with more creativity for some of the kill scenes, and it overall all the kill scenes felt to me pretty by the numbers, and nothing felt special or stood out to me. By the time I left the movie, I had forgotten quite a bit of it, and that's not good. You know what I mean? You don't want to leave a theater and be like, oh, what did I just see? You know, you need a movie that's going to stick with you. This didn't stick with me. It just didn't. That's now again. Let me say this. Do not take my review and if you wanted to watch it, do not take my review only and say you're not going to watch it. Go see it for yourself, and then come back here in the comments and let me know what you thought, because I have been on Twitter over the last 24 hours, and it seems to be so divisive that so many people seem to really like this movie, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what I love about doing this in the first place, so I can get you guys' feedback and we can kind of have a discussion about what we thought of the movie. There is no right or wrong about this, because we're all fans at the end of the day, and nobody's fandom was better than the other. But I hope you go see it, and I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you get more out of it than I did. Ghostface was the only saving grace to me in this entire movie, personally. Aside from the main actress, her sister, and their core friends. But aside from them, I am not as excited for Scream 7 as I was for Scream 6 after seeing Scream 5. So to me, I feel as if the franchise has maybe 2 solid movies left if they do it right, but it's kind of getting towards the end to me of the franchise, and it's kind of reaching a little bit, because they've already done the handoff from the past to the present. They've already done that, right? So we now have this new group, but they're also still bringing in the nostalgia, which is fine, but to me it feels like it doesn't have its own identity. Scream does not know what it wants to be and where it wants to go, and it's kind of making it up as it goes along. That's the way I look at it, and that might be the case for most franchises. And I know it's tough to say. I mean, there's 6 movies in, and you're like, it's run out of steam. It should run out of steam with 6 installments. So what I will say that I really like is, if you continue to increase the brutality of Ghostface, you will still have a fandom, but there needs to be a little bit more around Ghostface and some other shocks, because right now and you'll see it when you watch it, it's running through the playlist of the movies that came before it. And to me, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something new. That's just me. I am kind of, going in and out with what I'm saying because I'm trying to really look at more good to say about the movie because I really, really wanted to like it, but just didn't hit it for me. It just didn't do it for me. But anyway, that's my video, guys. Scream to me was okay. Ghostface was amazing. The main actors and actresses were amazing. Everything else around it, the twists and turns throughout, the overall feel and the emotion behind the kills and certain scenes just felt flat. It just feels like it's running its course. And it's, like I said, maybe 2 more movies at the most left in this franchise before we really got to put it to bed. That's just my opinion. So if you have seen it already, I want to know. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Number 1, if you're new here to this channel, this is the Glad's Horror Channel, the best horror channel here on YouTube. I talk all things horror. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, if you have seen the movie, I want to know, was I way off? Did you agree? What did you think when you saw it? And if you see this before you watch the movie, I implore you, go see it. Go see it and then come back here and let me know whether you agreed or you completely disagreed. Let's talk about it. Anyways, guys, that's my time. You guys take care. See you next time.